Have you ever noticed how aging doesn't announce itself with sirens but with whispers? One day you look around and the house feels quieter. The phone rings less, and your heart wonders, is this really all that's left? Yet here's the truth. Getting older isn't the enemy. Drifting is. Today we're going to expose 9 silent traps that quietly drain joy, health, and purpose after 60, along with simple ways to break free. Stay until the end, because the last trap ruins more futures than anyone realizes. Growing older is a privilege millions never receive. You've survived storms, raised families, built careers, but survival alone isn't living. If you felt invisible or restless, your story isn't finished, it's simply waiting for a rewrite. Let's begin. Trap 1. Believing passion expires with age. When Eleanor Hughes turned 71, she boxed up her watercolors, convinced that art belonged to the young. 6 months later, she felt hollow. One morning, her granddaughter asked, "Grandma, why did you stop painting sunsets?" The question stung and sparked. Eleanor reopened her sketchbook, shaky at first, then steady. Today, her small community gallery sells out of her prints every spring. Passion doesn't vanish, it dims from neglect. Maybe you love sculpting, baking, or hiking. Perhaps you dreamed of learning piano or writing poetry. That fire isn't gone, it's waiting under ashes. The path forward: schedule a curiosity hour each week with no phone, no chores, just you and the activity that once lit you up. Join a local class or online forum where accountability revives enthusiasm. Celebrate progress, not performance. Remember, mastery is optional, meaning is essential. You aren't auditioning for anyone's approval. You're awakening something sacred within yourself. Trap 2. Relying on children for emotional fuel. Richard and Lila Chen poured everything into their 2 sons. After retirement, they waited for calls that rarely came. Every unanswered ringtone felt like rejection. Their world shrank to hoping the boys would find time. Then Richard joined a neighborhood cycling club. Lila volunteered at a library literacy program. Something shifted. Phone calls became a bonus, not a lifeline. When the sons did visit, conversations brimmed with new stories instead of quiet resentment. Breaking free requires this: cultivate peer friendships. People who share your season of life, understand its joys and fears. Build routines that don't revolve around family schedules. Book clubs, walking groups, community gardens. When children connect, meet them from fullness, not emptiness. Relationships thrive when no one carries another's entire happiness. You are more than someone's parent. You're a complete person, deserving multiple sources of joy. Trap 3. Treating the body as an afterthought. For years, Rosa Delgado told herself, "I'm already old. Exercise won't change much." Then a single fall fractured her wrist and confidence. During rehab, she discovered chair yoga videos. 10 gentle minutes became 20, then a daily ritual. 6 months later, she climbed the church steps unassisted, smiling like a kid who just learned to ride a bike. Your action steps start here. Think movement, not marathons. Stretching before breakfast, walking while podcasts play. Light resistance bands during TV shows. Nourish, don't punish. Replace one processed snack with fruit or nuts. Hydrate before caffeine. Respect sleep with consistent bedtime routines that can lower blood pressure and brighten mood. Your body is the vessel through which every remaining memory will be made. Tend it with kindness, not perfectionism. Trap 4. Hoarding money, starving life. Mr. Patel spent decades saving every rupee he could. By 75, he was financially secure, yet emotionally bankrupt. No trips taken, no hobbies funded, no generosity exercised. A friend finally asked, "What did you earn the money for?" That question unlocked a life. He financed a village library, treated himself to a slow boat tour of the Mekong, and discovered the joy of seeing his savings circulate into memories rather than sit frozen in a bank. The solution lies in balance. Create a living dividends plan by earmarking a percentage of savings solely for experiences, classes, travel, gifts to causes you believe in. Spend on convenience that extends independence, grocery delivery, ergonomic furniture, part-time help with demanding tasks, audit fear-based budgeting honestly. Security matters, but money unused is potential unrealized. You didn't work your entire life to die wealthy and memory poor. Trap 5. Thinking it's too late to begin again. After losing her spouse, Maeve O'Connor considered her story closed. Then she read about a small coastal town seeking volunteer lighthouse guides. At 78, she relocated, learned nautical history, and now greets tourists with a lantern in hand. She says, "I didn't move here to escape the past. I moved to invite a future. What you can do immediately: list one dormant dream, big or small. Write the tiniest first action beside it. Perhaps research classes or call a mentor. Embrace rookie energy because beginner status brings freedom to experiment without reputation pressure. Remind yourself that the brain forms new neural pathways until the final breath. Reinvention is biology, not fantasy. Age gives you permission to try things purely for joy, not achievement." Trap 6. Living on autopilot and withdrawing. Routine can be comforting, but unchecked it becomes a cage. When Gerald Simmons lost his driving license, he barely left the house. Days blurred into meaningless repetition. One evening, his neighbor invited him to a story slam at the local cafe. Gerald listened, then shared a 5-minute tale about his first job. Applause cracked his shell. Suddenly, each week held anticipation instead of numbness. Practical steps to reconnect. Introduce micro-novelty by cooking a cuisine you've never tasted. Changing walking routes, learning one phrase in another language. Use one-a-day engagement. Call one friend. Read one article outside your usual interests. Try one new stretch. Track sparks by jotting moments that elevated your pulse. Then repeat and expand them. Small changes compound into major life shifts when practiced consistently. Trap 7. Clinging to draining relationships. Sylvia stayed in a decades-old bridge club where gossip flowed heavier than laughter. She left meetings anxious, yet feared quitting. What if I have no one? The day she finally declined an invite, quiet relief washed over her. Within weeks, she found a memoir writing circle filled with mutual respect. Solitude between gatherings felt lighter than toxic company ever had. Moving beyond this trap. Conduct an energy audit by noting plus or minus after each interaction. Patterns reveal truth more clearly than guilt or obligation. Set boundaries with clarity, not defensiveness. I'm focusing on activities that leave me energized. I'll have to pass this time. Remember, space isn't emptiness. It's room for healthier connections to enter. Quality trumps quantity at every stage of life. Trap 8. Neglecting the spirit. When U.S. Army veteran Hank Lawson retired, he abandoned morning meditation that once steadied him. Noise filled the gap: news loops, social media rants, sleepless nights. A counselor suggested a simple ritual: 3 minutes of silence at dawn, palms over heart. Hank scoffed, tried it anyway, wept unexpectedly, and kept going. 8 weeks later, hypertension eased and humor returned. Taking control of your inner life. Craft a personal sanctuary, a chair by a window, a garden bench, a candlelit nook. Visit daily, even briefly. Engage in awe through stargazing, attending choir performances, reading poetry aloud. Anything that reminds you you're part of something vast and meaningful. Journal one gratitude and one question each night because curiosity feeds the soul as much as certainty. Spiritual health requires intentional tending. Trap 9. Believing discovery is over. Louise Bennett thought new adventures belonged to her grandchildren. Then an ad popped up. Citizen Science needs birdsong recordings. Armed with a borrowed microphone, She hiked local trails cataloging warbler calls. She ended up featured in a regional wildlife newsletter. Her eyes now dance when she says, "I wake up wondering what the forest will teach me today." The way out starts now. Practice beginner's gaze by examining a familiar object as if you've never seen it. Noting color, texture, history, rotate roles. Become student in one area, like coding basics or pottery, and teacher in another, like family recipes or life skills. Schedule monthly discovery days where outcome doesn't matter. Only exploration and wonder. Curiosity is ageless. Only assumptions about age limit it. You've survived recessions, heartbreaks, revolutions in technology and thought, but survival is only Act 1. Act 2 begins the moment you decide drifting isn't enough. Take one trap that resonated most, just one, and choose a micro step today. Dust off a guitar string, research a class, walk an extra block, breathe 3 intentional breaths at sunrise. Decline the draining invitation. Small hinges swing wide doors. If this message stirred something, share it with a friend navigating the same quiet battles. Drop a comment telling us which trap you're escaping first. Your words may light someone else's path. And if you'd like ongoing reminders that life still brims with possibility, subscribe and ring the bell. Our community is rewriting aging together. Remember, your story isn't winding down, it's widening. The pen is still in your hand. Write boldly, live fully, and let the next chapter surprise you.